Дякую.
It's November 22, Ukraine Media Center confirmed continues its operation. My name is Svetlana Shiporenko. Now we are about to talk about the intense shelling of Kherson region, and joining us online is Oleksandr Tolokonnikov, the head of the press office of Kherson region military administration. Good morning, Mr. Oleksandr. Good morning. Mr. Oleksandr, yesterday the occupiers dropped an incredible number of aviation bombs, 25 according to the latest data on Kherson region. So what do we know about the aftermath and the casualties? Yes, yesterday 25 aviation bombs were dropped on the Berislav district alone from 11 through 13 o'clock in the day. Then 3 more aviation bombs were dropped again. Those strikes resulted in 3 casualties. One person died, unfortunately, in Berislav, yet another person was injured in Novoberislav. Yet one man got a shrapnel injury in Tehinsy after artillery strike, and yet another person was injured by the morning artillery strike in the city of Kherson, as the shell landed right on the back porch of that family. Also, in the evening, there was a shelling in Antonivka, where one person was heavily injured and another one got injury of a medium level. The doctors are fighting for the life of the heavily injured individual who ended up in the hospital. So in total, we have 7 casualties plus 1 dead. The Russians shelled the communities of the western bank in Kherson region 115 times, out of which 46 projectiles were launched against Kherson itself. Well, the propagandists say about the collaborationists fleeing the territory of Oleshky and the adjacent areas. Do we know anything about that situation? Well, I cannot comment. I don't know what is the purpose of those messages. But for what our communities report, we don't observe any such things. Well, what do we know about the resistance movement in the temporarily occupied territories, and what do we know about the latest operations of our guerrillas over there? Well, the guerrillas are a military topic. We cover more of a civil topics. We do appreciate all the efforts of the guerrilla movement because they keep providing new information about the movement of the enemy troops, about the new conditions like intensification of screening measures imposed by occupiers, which help our military, our intelligence, so we better understand what is the situation on the East Bank. Well, and talking about preparation to winter, the snow is coming, the cold weather is coming. So other territories under Ukrainian control prepared for the cold season. Have the heating centers started operating in the regions? Are all of the consumers connected to the heat supply? Well, talking about the resilience stations, 145 resilience stations were deployed in the region, 25 of which in the city of Kherson itself. Those are the resilience stations where people can recharge their gadgets in case there is no electricity in their homes. They can use Starlink internet in case of blackouts or any other emergencies when the power goes off, so people can stay there to get heated and to get some tea. Talking about the preparation to the heating season, we gradually start supplying heat to the different districts of the city of Kherson. The thermal power plant works 100% and continues supplying the heat to the apartment blocks that are serviced by that thermal power plant. Kherson Teploenergo launches gradually all of the 37 boiler rooms, including those ones located in the island district. And in a week, all of the homes will be supplied with heat unless there are no emergencies and in case the security situation allows, because we're here under constant shelling. This morning the Russians were shelling the district of Korabelny. We still don't know about any casualties and destruction, but we understand where they try to target. What other targets are there? We try to supply the wood and heating pellets to the communities that are not connected to heat supply, specifically those that are located along the bank of Dnipro. We will continue delivering the same supplies to the vulnerable categories of population in other communities and to other people who submit applications in their communities. Thank you. Do we have any questions on the floor? Good morning, Olha Panasenko, Ukrinform. Can you please tell us what is the situation with evacuation of children and the families with the children from those settlements where such evacuation is mandatory? How many kids still remain under threat in those settlements? 573 children from starting from 24th of October were evacuated together with their families. The number of those remaining are about 220. Just this morning I was looking through the reference materials, and the half of all those children are from Kamyshany and Priozerna. In other settlements, out of 23 other settlements, in 10 of them, approximately in 10 of them, there are still children remaining, and the majority are in Kherson community. Like I mentioned, Kamyshany and Priozerna, I think they account for like 150 children. And we continue working with them and their families. We plan to have them evacuated within a week or so. People, however, still think that staying in Kamyshany is not as dangerous as staying in Kyahinka or Berislav. They don't want to leave, so we will try to use other methods to convince them and to have their children evacuated. Thank you very much, Mr. Oleksandr, for informing us on the situation in Kherson region. I'm reminding you, joining us online was Oleksandr Tolokonnikov, spokesman for the Kherson Regional Military Administration. Ukraine Media Center Ukrinform will continue its operation tomorrow. Thank you for staying tuned.